Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your June 2019 mid-month general reading. Thank you for joining us here today. Welcome to any newcomers and first-timers, and welcome back to followers and subscribers, and thanks for taking the time to tune in today and for sending in all your support, feedback, and comments. And as I always say, a big note of gratitude to all of my clients out there for keeping me so occupied with personal readings. Always a pleasure. Thank you. And if any of you are interested in setting up a personal reading with me, you can click on the description link below for more info and contact details, or the little about button you'll find on my YouTube channel's homepage. You can email me directly at maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. I'd be most happy to work with you. I can usually respond to your initial inquiry with more information within the same day or the first 24 hours. I do a wide variety of readings in all areas of life, and scheduling the actual reading is in a pretty timely fashion too. I do readings full-time 6 days a week, so I'm pretty diligent at working with both your schedule and mine to get you readings as quickly as we can. So send me an email if you're interested, and we will set something up for you. All right, moving right along, this reading is for the earth sign of Virgo. Marvelous, Virgo. What does the remainder of June have in store for you? Remember that general readings always resonate a little differently, and they can't always resonate all the time for everyone. I mean, how could that be possible? There's so many of you watching. But what you may find helpful to provide additional clarification is watching your other signs if you know them, your rising sign, your moon sign, your Venus sign, etc. So try to do that if you can. Okay, Virgo. Yeah. All right, Virgo, we begin with the Fool, my favorite major arcana card, followed by the Knight of Wands. We have the Two of Wands, followed by the Seven of Swords. And from the bottom of the deck, your overall energy is the Eight of Wands. 3 wands, so lots of fire energy, creative, passionate, enthusiastic, action-oriented, forward-moving, change, movement, power, action. That's the energy of fire, of the energy of the element which governs wands. I feel like some of you are traveling and perhaps doing it quite quickly. Maybe you're going on vacation, or just maybe decided to take a trip away somewhere. Your overall energy is the Eight of Wands, which is a card that does reference travel. It also represents a lot of communication, conversations, moving back and forth. For those of you who are waiting for messages or communication, it is on its way and will be coming quite quickly. It's a card about movement, travel, talking, powerful messages. Very action-oriented and fast-moving. And we also have the Fool and the Knight of Wands here. The Knight of Wands, Knights are the deliverers, the bringers of the tarot. They are the protectors and guardians. They also represent the speed at which situations move. Now this Knight is governed by the element of fire for Wands. So he is the fastest of all 4 of his brother Knights. So he's the fastest of all 4 of the Knights, his 3 brother Knights. He charges ahead, sometimes rather impulsively and quickly, as Knights are prone to do, because they can be a bit single-minded and fanatical when it comes to doing whatever it is they have their eyes set on, their mission, their quest. And the Fool also does. The Fool, I'm not sure, sometimes this combination of the Fool and the Knight of Wands, you have to be kind of cautious of this, because the Fool never looks before he leaps. That's not what he's about. He's about stepping off the beaten path and finding something new, just for the potential and promise of what it might hold. He reminds us that the true joy and beauty and excitement and value of a journey is in the journey itself, not necessarily in reaching the destination. He's all about the potential and promise of a brand new journey. He's the first major arcana card in the tarot. He has a 0 at the start of his card, and he's just getting ready to start his journey, which is all of the cards after him, how he learns and grows and evolves and matures. It's our journey through life until we reach the last card, which is the world, being on top of the world. So he's just getting ready to start off, promise and potential. this is very fast-moving energy, very energetic, fast-moving energy, traveling, starting off on a brand new journey, whether that's literal or figurative. You may be starting off on some brand new project or thing that you're doing in your life. Maybe it doesn't necessarily require travel. It can represent movement as well, but it's very fast-moving and very eager. And again, there's some bit of caution with the Fool and the Knight of Wands, because this is a lot of explosive, fiery, fast-moving, spontaneous, impulsive energy. So just make sure to, make sure there's water in the pool before you jump, at least a bit. So you're getting ready to start on this journey. It's like I almost have this sensation of, wanting to, like a dog wanting to go on its walk and being yanked back. Not yet, not yet. Just hang on just a second. So kind of be careful with that energy. We have some of you are starting something new with this Knight of Wands. I feel for some of you as an actual person. It could be a Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, fire sign individual. You might be manifesting this energy as well, but I feel like some of you are traveling to be with someone, or someone else is traveling to be with you. So there's travel involved in that and communication around that at the same time. I feel like for some of you, you may have been estranged from someone and you're making plans to reunite again. We have the Two of Wands and the Seven of Swords. So the Two of Wands is about making plans for how you're going to proceed, for how this journey or this project, this new thing is going to proceed. And I feel like the struggle for you and the challenge for you, Virgo, in spite of the fact that you're a lovely grounded earth sign, is that, so the Wands is the planning stage of something. Right before this would be the Ace. This is preceded by the Ace. The Ace of Wands would be like the spark that fans the flame, the idea, the dream, where we start. The Two of Wands is in the planning phase. This is where you're trying to figure out how it's going to be done, where you're going to go, what you're going to pack, how this is going to work out. This is kind of the planning stage of things. Do I go left? Do I go right? How do I make the plans to kind of begin to start this process, this idea that I have in mind? The only thing is that it's sitting right next to the Fool too, and the Fool is not really big. The Fool is not really big on planning, Virgo. So be cautious of this. This isn't, and this isn't the kind of energy you would maybe often see attributed to earth signs, because, but of course everybody, if you're in love, if there's a reconciliation here, sometimes when, our emotions and our passion gets involved, sometimes we forget to be quite so grounded. Again, just the cautionary energy here is make sure that you put at least a decent amount of effort into planning this. Don't just throw a change of clothes in a bag and jump on a plane. You can. I'm not really here to tell anybody what to do, and it just means a different path, but there's so much fast-moving energy. I just feel like your challenge is going to be in properly planning and kind of thinking things out a little ways down the road. Now the two of, and you may not be telling this to anybody other than maybe who else it involves. You may not be talking to other people about what you're doing, what you're planning on doing, or what your plans are, because the Two of Wands is accompanied with the Seven of Swords, which sometimes called the thief card, the sneaky card, deception, or keeping things undercover. Not always a bad thing. He gets a bad rap, this card, sometimes. Sometimes, we all have to do things sometimes undercover or off the grid, or we play our cards pretty close to our chest in order to accomplish something. This is about maybe keeping your plans to yourself. You have a goal and you don't want anybody to know about it, or not very many people know about it, so you're not talking about it. Maybe you could be being deceptive or lying about it, or, just not sharing it with other people. And there's nothing wrong with that as long as it's not harming yourself or somebody else, because you don't want to, build up and engender a lot of karmic imbalance. So it looks like you're either not talking to people about what you're planning, what you're doing, and you may be keeping that to yourself. there's almost a sensation of leaving in the night or starting something, and maybe it's just for some of you, it's an exciting new project or new career path. Wands can sometimes be reflected, that fire energy can be reflected in new artistic or creative endeavors or in our career path. You know, any areas of our life that have to do with building towards the future or starting something, you know, towards the future. So keeping it to yourself. Yeah, this has this feeling of kind of leaving in the middle of the night, or just leaving very quickly, or, you know, starting up this brand new thing and not telling anybody about it until everything's kind of set into place. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that there's so much impulsive, spontaneous, let's not plan too much energy that I want to caution you, Virgo, whether it's you or someone close to you, about just making sure that you at least have a plan A, if not a plan B. Okay, let's pull some final advice card for you. Advice and guidance for the last half of June for Virgo. I have this image in my head of somebody, you're normally grounded, even toned, even tempered Virgoans, just going, yep, that's it, I'm out of here, bye, you know. Or what happened to Maggie? I don't know, she was here one day and then she was gone. Okay, advice and guidance for Virgo for the remainder of June. The High Priestess. Pay attention to your intuition, which is a kind of balancing your thoughts and your emotions too, meaning, you know, your intuition is actually what's under your thoughts and your emotions. Some people call it gut instinct, some people call it higher self. Our intuition is that cable or that conduit which connects us to spirit, that we get, you know, feelings, things that compel us towards something else, ideas which seem to come out of nowhere, dreams that repeat themselves, and I say repeating dreams, or dreams with a repeating theme, because 2/3 of what we dream about is just kind of our brain recycling stuff. But when a dream begins to repeat itself, or dreams begin to have kind of the same thing, that's when you need to pay attention to them, because it's usually a message trying to get through, any flashes of inspiration. The High Priestess, she's a very quiet person, very spiritual and connected, and the reason she is in order to do that, she pays attention, she watches, she doesn't say a lot, but when she does, it's usually profound. She listens to that intuitive sense. She has a very strong cable between her and the divine, and she allows that to kind of guide and shape her path as well, knowing instinctively or intuitively what's best for her. She doesn't tend to be too spontaneous and impulsive unless she feels like God's spirit, her angels and guides, are actually leading her. And most of the time I feel the High Priestess would probably have some kind of plan in mind. So again, just pay attention to what your intuition is telling you. Meaning, you know, not just the surface emotions and thoughts, but kind of go deeper than that. Especially in making your plans for how you're proceeding forward. You may want to consult one person, somebody who manifests in your life like the High Priestess, somebody, a mentor, a really good friend, somebody whose opinion and wisdom and experience you trust, maybe to get some guidance on this, because it looks like you're keeping it kind of undercover or kind of mum. Again, nothing wrong with that, but you may want to have at least one person to bounce things off of. Okay, Virgo, that pretty much wraps up your June 2019 mid-month general reading. I hope that you found it helpful and useful, or at least not too confusing. Again, if this video resonated for you, or if any of the videos resonate for you and you'd like to take a deeper look at it, feel free to contact me at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com, or for any of the reading services I provide. I do love and romance readings, relationship compatibility charting, career, work and finance, investment, gift readings. I also do 6 and 12-month overviews, which take a look at what's coming in your life over the next 6 or 12 months, depending on how far ahead you want to look, in addition to a variety of other services. So send me an email and we'll set something up for you, and I look forward to working with those of you who are interested in doing so. So Virgo, I will see you all in a couple of weeks for the July 2019 general readings, and until then, blessings, joy, and a peaceful, happy life to you. Take care. Bye-bye.